Shalom, Lord Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah Bahashim Rakakwadash, and double honor to the apostles and others of Great Millstone who rule well over the flock. Shalom to all you brothers out here pushing the words of truth and sincerity. Shalom. In today's lesson, I just want to go into the divine protection and deliverance that we waiting for, and we understand is coming. We can hear the same news that the heathen hear. We can hear the same devastating news that our own people hear. But what is it that about this news that we just keep coming back to it? We want more of it. Well, there's news, and the devastating news to come helps us understand the times we in. We use the news and the current events to help us understand and map out where we are in the sequence of events known as prophecies in the Bible, things to come that have been spoken of since the times of old, like the returning of the Lord Yahweh Shah, and like the deliverance of his people Israel. All right, so the story of the Israelites goes all the way back, right around the time of Exodus, a little before then, but that major point, that major time, Exodus, the deliverance out of Egypt, was so significant that all the way to the New Testament it was commonly quoted. Every Israelite from that time forward took that story and walked in it and meditated on it and remembered it, because we was justified in the sight of the Lord that he would deliver us out of captivity. If he did it once, you know he could do it again. And we coming in that same mindset today. The scriptures that help us understand that there is a deliverance to come, and we're not supposed to be shook and worried and troubled and fearful of getting caught up in the calamity, as long as we serve the Heavenly Father with all our vigor and might and strength. The scriptures that help us understand this, I have here now, and I'll read them. 1 Samuel 2:9. He will keep the feet of his saints, and the wicked shall be silent in darkness, for by strength shall no man prevail. So it's not your might, it's not how strong you are, but it's your faith in the Lord, and that the Lord is going to overcome all enemies and adversaries. Now, the deliverance in Exodus was so great and magnificent that you can never again doubt the miracles and the power of the Heavenly Father. I mean, that he loves his people so much that he would pinpoint different actions and miracles around them to protect them as we walk out of Egypt. All right. And so we the descendants of those people. All right. The true biblical Israelites were so-called black people. All right. Latino and Native Americans. All right. And that's who we are today, so-called. We were the ones that walked out of Egypt. All right. While Pharaoh and his the Egyptians was on our backs before they got swallowed up in the Red Sea. That was us. We resonate with that story. Not our oppressors, not our enemies. All right. The curses from Deuteronomy 28 from 15 on down resonate with all people, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans today. And why is this important? Because we are once again found in a position where we was in ancient Israel. In ancient Egypt. As a matter of fact, in Revelations 8:11, it tells you that this place is spiritually Sodom and Gomorrah in Egypt. And so it takes on the same vibration. Once again, the Israelites are in captivity again. And why? Because of our transgressions. You know that the Most High hates transgression. He hated the sinner, and he destroys him. All right. But captivity is mainly for a judgment. And so here we are. So it says he will keep the feet of his saints, meaning he will watch over us and protect us. And that's what we need more than anything. You know, that the Heavenly Father watch over us in all these calamities, right? Psalms 23. All right, the other scriptures here are Psalms 2 and 8. Psalms 2 and 8 on the right. Ask me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance. Salakia, that's a great one. But I'm looking for Psalms 8 and 2. Psalms 8 and 2. Out of the mouth of babes and sucklings that hast thou ordained strength because of thine enemies, that thou mightest still the enemy and the avenger. So when the enemy comes up against us, the Most High is going to still them. That's divine deliverance every time. That's support we were looking for. That's persecution to everybody who came up against us that we was looking for. That's us being avenged. Our enemies being taken care of, destroyed, done away with, moved out the way for us to come in and prosper again. That's what the Lord is going to do for us. Psalms 27 is the next precept. And it's verse 5. It says, for in the time of trouble he shall hide me in his pavilion. In the secret of his tabernacle shall he hide me. He shall set me upon a rock. So we can explain and understand here that the Heavenly Father is going to bring us to a place in which we could prosper and we can dwell without trouble. He's going to protect us when the trouble comes and hide us from that trouble and from the perils. And he'll put us up somewhere high, set me upon a rock, where we won't be able to be hurt, where we won't be able to be moved and broken and destroyed, because that's what he's bringing in, the enemy, to do just that to non-unbelievers. The Most High is going to get his get back on all the people who turned away from him. 2/3 of the nation of Israel are going to get judged in the days to come. But he preserves an elect, and this is what he's going to do for them. Psalms 31 and 4 says, pull me out of the net that they have laid privily for me. Who is that? They're our enemies. We got to understand that the Most High created us to have enemies. He didn't create us to be on this earth, be at the bottom, and then have nothing but friends of other nations. The other nations know if you get a certain amount of money, they got their eye on you. If you got a certain amount of wisdom, they got their eye on you. If you got leadership qualities, they have their eye on you. Because you're going to break the mold. You're going to break the cycle. You're going to pull apart that net. And it's not that we're trying to de-establish what is the American government and move towards voting and trying to change legislation. We don't have to go that route. The Heavenly Father says right here, pull me out of the net that they have laid privily for me. This is King David speaking. For thou art my strength. You see at the top it says that chief musician, the Psalm of David. So he understands that his protection, his strength comes from the Heavenly Father, who's going to deliver him from all his enemies. We're in that same lot. We're in that same stead. We're in that same faith. We're encouraged by David's words. You know, because these same things are going to happen for us. Psalms 34, verse 17. The righteous cry, and the Lord heareth, and delivereth them out of all their troubles. We need to hear these things. We need to meditate on these things, that the Most High is all powerful. He's really the one that you can't touch, that can't be touched. And he's for his people, and the elect of his people, he's going to deliver. Surely, this is Psalm 62 and 9. Surely men of low degree are vanity, and men of high degree are a lie. To be laid in the balance, they are altogether lighter than vanity. And on the left, on the NLT, it says, common people are worthless as a puff of wind, and the powerful are not what they appear to be. If you weigh them on the scales, together they are lighter than a breath of air. So the Most High knows what to do with these all-powerful men. These low, whether you're on the low status, on the high status, the Most High has something for you. He got judgment for you. And there's nothing you can do for yourself in that day. And there's no one who could save you from the wrath of the Heavenly Father in that day. The next verse says, trust not in oppression, and become not vain in robbery. If riches are set upon your heart, if riches increase, set not your heart upon them. That's another god of this world. It's called Mammon. And Mammon means money. It's a god that they worshipped for money in the ancient world. And Mammon is back heavy. People love that god, Mammon. Will serve it by all means. And do very hasty and irrational and unpolite and abominable acts just for that money. Just for that Mammon. But the Most High said, trust not oppression or your vain riches. Alright? Or your wealth. No matter how much more comes in. And so that the perils that the Most High is going to send is going to be judgment for those that trust in those riches or trust in that oppression. Lord willing, this video is edifying to the elect. Till next time, shalom.